Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to Wednesday afternoons. We're ahead of the curve, ahead of where we would be if it were a normal week and we would have to wait till Friday. It's the upside of the predicament we're in, maybe. Think of it that way. Yeah, some of us. Hello, India. Christopher, I've actually always had two space heaters. The problem is when it is incredibly cold outside, it doesn't seem to matter how many space heaters I have. It gets cold. But it's good now. It's not too cold outside, so that's why it's good. Hey, we got both Christophers here today, Ryan and Morin. Hey guys. All right, we're gonna give everybody one more minute to get logged in here, and we will get rolling. Hope everyone is staying safe, staying inside, staying socially distant. Yeah, hopefully staying emotionally tied in with humanity. Don't want to drift off in that part. All right. Hard enough. There we go. Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Hope everything's going well. We are back live again. We're just so much liveness lately. We're so live. With me today again is here and remote is Jody. Hey, Jody.
Everybody.
I forgot to turn on my keylogger. I'm going to do that because today, or key tracker, caster, that's the thing I was looking for. There we go. This is going to be a fun one today because we are going to do a model along. So rather than just me grabbing a model and then just starting into it and we talk about things and ask questions and stuff, this is our chance to actually work on a project together. So first thing, most important thing, is right over here in our forum, forums.sketchup.com if you're not already there. Actually, Jody could probably post a link in our chat too, so you guys could all get there.
I can and will.
Yeah, don't test him. He'll do it. I have this image. And this image is of, I just found this on the internet. It's 4 machine parts, and they just have a bunch of millimeter measurements on it. And I have played with a couple of pieces or of drawings like this just to kind of practice modeling, really is all it is. And man, it's a really cool way to get good at taking precision and creating models that are exact and perfect size inside of SketchUp. So that's what we're going to do today. So what I want to give you guys the ability to do is the opportunity to download this, get this file, get this image, and we'll work with it, and we'll make this model together. The way it's going to work right now, this is what we kind of have been brainstorming. This will potentially change as we move forward in quarantine times here. But what we had talked about internally was our Monday sessions, like we did this week, will be kind of a Q&A session. So that'll be a great spot for somebody to get in with specific questions they have. A lot of times when we do modeling streams, we don't have time to like detour and go, hey, what's the best way to blah, 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 whatever, intersect an arc at tangent. We can't always do that as we're live streaming because it's kind of a derailment of what we're trying to get done in the time we have allotted. So we're going to commit, that's the word I'm looking for, Mondays to Q&A sessions. So if you have those questions, bring them in. If you have specific models you want to take a look at, bring those to the forum on Mondays. Tuesdays, we're going to try to do something like this each time. Come up with a model that's a little bit more brief maybe than what we would normally do on a Friday and work on it together. So I'll post whatever that image is of whatever we're going to model will be up on the forum probably the day before. So if you want to grab one and prep for it, that's where it will be. And then Fridays, we'll just leave Fridays the way they are. Not going to mess with something that's working, Fridays we get to just hang out, relax, have fun, model something. So this week coming up, we'll do Bag End from The Hobbit. So Frodo or Bilbo's family home, and I'm not sure what part of it even we're going to do, but we're going to do something. So we'll see how that goes.
Do the fire.
Model the fire?
Sure, and we can burn a ring in it.
It's always possible.
No?
That's
Okay,
why we need you guys there. Help us decide. All right, so really all you got to do is download this image, and we're going to model from this. I think I stalled enough time, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. That was probably enough time to download that.
That seems fair to me. I mean, I didn't download it, but maybe I'll do that real quick.
I'm just reading through some of them. Jim Morvay said, these parts look like the very same ones I learned to draw by hand back in 7th grade drafting class. They could be. I've actually seen several online classes, both hand drawing and CAD drawing, where they have models that look a lot like this. I mean, this is not a unusual set of shapes, I don't think. So it's cool for us because we do it, like I said, this is precision. This is going to be inputting exact dimensions and creating 4 solid pieces. So with that, we will hop in here. So the one question is, so we're going to get these in here. I'm not going to use photo match or anything like that, but I do have to get them on the screen to see them, to work from them. So one of my favorite things, you guys probably know this if you've seen this before, is to import reference images as a watermark. If you have 2 monitors, it's real easy because you can put it up on one monitor and work on your other monitor. I'm only broadcasting a single monitor, so I need to get that image on here to work from. So what I'm going to do is go into my watermarks, which is under styles, and click on the edit tab, and it's the second to last one is watermark, and I'm going to hit plus to load it. I'm going to go to my desktop and grab that image. All right, so when watermark first comes in, it puts it right over the top and it creates an overlay. I'm going to actually drop mine to the background. I don't need it to be on top of anything. I'm going to give 100% opacity. I want to see it all the way through, and I'm going to position it in the upper left corner. If I would shrink this down enough so it's out of my way and not taking up too much space, the images get kind of small. So I think I'm gonna break out these images individually. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this real quickly. I know this is a little crazy, but it's looking at the opportunity to use SketchUp in ways you don't normally use it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it right in the front and in the middle, turn the image to 100% opacity, and just stretch it across the screen like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come in here and screenshot these 4 images. Just like that. What that's going to let me do is that's going to give me single images rather than this one block of 4, because I'm only going to model one at a time anyhow. And then what I can do is I can come to this watermark, remove it, add a new watermark, and I'll grab, I guess I'll grab the first one I took. That would be the upper left corner one. Open that, and then I can, put that in the background, position that at the upper left corner, shrink it down a little bit so I can read most of those dimensions. I'm also not covering it up too much with my head, but that's okay. All right, finish. All right, so this is the first piece we're gonna build. So it sounds like some people are saying there might be experience a lag, but everything looks good on this end. Let me know if we do run into issues at all. All right, so with that, we're just going to hop in and start modeling. All right, so here's what I see. What I would be tempted to do in this particular model is probably model this shape first in 2D. Just get those dimensions drawn in. Then I can pull that across to make a bulk of this. Come in and put this rail on the bottom, and then finally just punch this circle through the bottom. With that, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw this shape. In case you're wondering, I keep wiggling around like this because I'm trying to move this 3D shape using my mouse. It's not working, in case you were wondering.
It's working for me. Must be something on your end.
Oh, good. I keep trying to like turn it, and let's look at that hole a little bit. No, can't do that. Okay, so I'm going to start by just drawing this shape right here. So the first thing that we're going to deal with is these units. I'm assuming these are millimeters. Again, I just did a screenshot of an image I found, so there's not no actual data, but I think it's a safe assumption this is millimeters. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to make this as high fidelity, I guess, if that's the right word, as possible, yeah. I'm going to scale the whole thing in meters and just scale it down to millimeters afterwards. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here to my model info, my units, and I'm going to change it to engineering, because for whatever reason, or no, not engineering, decimal, and then I can change that to meters. Actually, it doesn't really matter if I change these values. This is really the only one that I have to worry about. So I can model the whole thing in meter units and then come back afterwards and scale it down by 1,000? 0.001? I can't remember. We'll figure that out later. That's later. That's somebody else's problem. Right now I just got to draw lines. All right,
that's like a 2 p.m. problem.
That's right. It's just barely afternoon. I'm not going to think about how I'm going to finish this thing yet. All right, so I'm going to start at this lower right corner. That's going to be right here. And I'm going to go up the green axes. Uh, 180 meters. Boom. Whoa. Oh boy. All right.
Whoa.
If I delete Laura, that's just a line. All right. That returns this way, 25. And then it comes back down 90. All right, so I'm just using these dimensions across here. All right, now this is the fun part of modeling these models, is I don't have every single dimension. So sometimes I gotta start working one direction, turn around, come back the other direction. So from this point, I don't actually have this information here. I do have some numbers here though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here, and this starts by going up the same 25. So this line, this is all in line. And then what I got is, I'm going to draw a line across here from the middle of that line, which should be 45 meters. That's this dimension right here. I'm going to go straight up 70. That gives me a line right now at the center of this circle. See that? So now I'm going to draw two circles. Here I have a circle with a circumference of 30. So before I actually draw my circle, I'm going to tell it how many sides I want. I'm using the same number of sides on all my circles. I'm going to go with 48, which is going to double the number of sides in a normal circle. It's just going to give me a little bit finer circle. But I generally, when I create my circles, I like to stay increments of 4 or 12 if possible. So if I shrink down, I'll go to like 8 would be the lowest, 12 is good, 24 is good, 48 is good. 48 is nice because then it gives me 12 segments in each quadrant. I like that. That's a nice even number. You can divide it into 4, you can divide it into 3, you can divide it in half. So I'm going to stick with 48 sides. As I bring it over this way, so like I said, it's 30 circumference, but I'm specifying the radius, so I'm just going to say 15. That gives me the inside circle. The outside circle's over here on this tab, and that has a radius of 30. So I'm going to go circle, start right here again, and type in 30, enter. All right. So that is the outside circle. This is an open space, and these lines are unnecessary. Now what I can do is I can go find actually I didn't put anything here to hold this. Oh no, it's the middle, that's right. Go from there. And now I don't have like a tangent snap, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do is bring this up, and I can see, here's my different segments. As I start to walk back, I'm gonna use the first segment I come across where it doesn't lap over the geometry. So that's right there. I'm gonna come over here, do the same thing, grab the end like that. Click right there. All right, and that is my initial geometry right here. So now I can take that and I can start to bulk this thing out. Christian O is saying import the CAD drawing. Absolutely could, but this is the whole point of this live model, is to take this three-dimensional drawing and recreate it in SketchUp. If you had the CAD file and that was what was most important, you could sure bring it in and just flesh out 2D drawings. That would work also. But this is more of a modeling practice than it is any kind of productivity thing. So, all right, I'm gonna start bringing this across. I'm gonna bring it across 15. So I'm gonna push pull, give it a depth of 15, enter. Now, this goes across 55, and that is 20 meters down from the center of the circle. I'm gonna grab this whole thing, and I'm gonna get it in the same orientation that this model is actually in. So I'm gonna go like this, go like, I don't think I got that at the right. There we go. Take that 90 degrees. All right, so now we're in the same orientation. So what I can do is I can come here, reference off the circle, go to that center point, and drop that down 20. I went the wrong direction. One more time from that point. On the green axis, 20. There we go. And bring that up like this. Bring it down like this. Okay, something is looking not right. Well, here, let me just keep inputting and see what happens. If I bring this across 55, I think all my dimensions are matching up. It's definitely not looking the same though. All right, we'll figure out what that is in just one second. First, I'm gonna finish this other side. I'm gonna grab this piece right here. I'm gonna grab it with move by the end. I'm gonna hit Option and bring it straight across like that. Now this extends out another 15, so I'm gonna have to do it in two pieces. This one's gonna go 15, and then grab this one and pull it across 15 also. And I can delete these extra seamlets. Excuse me. I'll use Alt to get rid. Modifier erase there. All right. So I followed all the dimensions that I could see. Let me just double check a few things to see if there's something I had that was off. If I go to my center point right here, bring that down. That is at 95. How did I do 95? Who wasn't paying attention to what I was doing?
I'm sorry, that was me. I was trying to fix my keyboard. I take full responsibility.
Okay, so this this whole section is 15 meters too high. So I wonder if I can just take this and squish this 15, and that's not a perfect solution because it's going to squish stuff. But then I could take this, bring it over here. I hope you guys followed the actual dimensions on the screen. Oh man, way to start this one out, huh? I'm just trying to think of, I don't know exactly how to fix this, so let me click through some stuff real quick.
This would be what I would call a do-over.
Yeah, probably the smarter way to deal with this is to undo a few times. I started from the top line and not the bottom line with my 70. Thank you. Tangle caught me. All right, let's back it up, back it up, back it up. All right, so this is the geometry. I can just grab this and bring this back down 15. All right, now we'll check that to the bottom. That should be 70, 80. Oh, because I went 25. Yeah, that makes sense. 10. All right. Right from the start. How's your Wednesday going? All right, 70. Perfect. All right, now we're going to come here and we're going to bring this up to that point right there. And we're going to find our point right here. All right, and we'll push-pull that 15. All right, now I can grab all of that. We'll try this one more time. Oh, it's okay. This is why you do, this is the first one. It's supposed to be less than ideal. That makes the rest of them go even smoother. Maybe.
Make your mistakes early.
That's right. Get it out of the way. Get the bad stuff out of the system. All right, now we come down 20. Draw a line there. If you ever have a situation like this, sometimes drawing surfaces over top of surfaces will not break the geometry properly. You can tell there's usually something, see that little dark line that's chasing around as I move in 3D? It didn't intersect properly. So all I'm going to do is just come trace one segment. Or so I thought. Oh, thought I'd... Well, we should probably just call it at this point.
Just hang up.
Dang. All right. Undo, 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 undo. All right. At this point, I will delete these lines. There we go. I did it real quick on the last one. Worked fine. I'm abusing my geometry already. All right, so I got that line broken. And grab this piece right here, pull that across 55. And I'll do the same thing I did before. And grab this piece, option copy from here to here, push pull this 15, double click here, erase these extra pieces, and then modifier erase to smooth those pieces. All right, there we go. Now we got what it shows here, I'm pretty sure. All right, so in here I have a circle that's going to bore down inside of this surface, but I also have this little pop out on the bottom. I'm going to do this part first. I'm going to pop this out first and then put my hole through. I just find that push pulling through the final geometry usually ends up working better, especially if there's any overlap, if that circle laps outside of that pushed rectangle or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to this side, come across 20, drop it straight down. Whoops. Come across 20, drop it straight down, come across another 45.
Yep.
Drop that straight down, and then I can pull that out 10. That gives me that geometry. What's this mean? Who's got this thing? this little 85 with an arrow. Let me know what that
85
means.
is the full width. It's just going across the whole width of it. Right? 20 plus 45 plus 20 is 85.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's this dimension. Okay, so I just
Yeah,
don't know what
it's
that
just-
little arrow is. Comes out. Yeah, that's this dimension line. All right. Last thing we got, this circle right here. So the circle is centered. It is 42 down from the top. So you guys know this, I don't use a lot of guides. This is probably a spot where I could pull a guide down. I tend to just draw a circle like this, or a line like this, and then just use the circle off the middle. It's a 50 circumference, so my radius is gonna be 25. And then just get rid of these. It does break the geometry, so once I go start to push pull, sometimes I'll get lines inside. But again, it's just how I've done it so long, I have a hard time switching to guides. And for most of what I've done, it hasn't been an issue, so I'm hard pressed to change my workflow. I apologize for anybody who's wants to argue with me about that. Inside here, I have a circle with a circumference of 20 pushed through to the opposite side. I don't have to put a guide in at all or any kind of line in there because I can just go to circle, go off the center.
I don't think that's the circumference.
10, you don't think so?
I think it might be a diameter. That's right.
Sure?
Let's use the math terms. Circumference
So it
would
looks
be
like
the,
Goes from the top to the
the
bottom.
length of the perimeter.
Oh yeah, I did use the term circumference. Diameter.
You're using the
Wow.
wrong word.
Well, I guess math
all
gets
I'm
me
here for.
even when I get it right.
Even words for math
Yeah.
mystify you.
What? How come math gets to get in on my words? I do pretty good at words most times. Math's got to mess with that too. It's just water.
Just water.
Okay. So I feel pretty good that that is the same. I can do a little bit of verification because I can mirror to camera, parallel projection, and I can kind of line that up. Yeah, that looks. Apparently, I have to hold my breath while I do this. But yeah, that's pretty darn close. I think I got all the dimensions. Yep, Jody's a good wingman, Marconi. You're right. Last thing I'm gonna do is select it, make it a group, and I'm just gonna verify it is solid. Not that solids have to happen in this case, but that's kind of the plan for now.
Are you going to add dimensions to these?
One could.
Nice. I like the theoretical part of that.
It is possible. We'll see. Well, let's get some more models in here, and then we'll figure out what to do with them. Because I haven't figured that part out yet. All right, I'm going to go back to my watermark, and I'm going to remove. Actually, so there's a couple things I could do. I could double click and change the watermark, or I could delete it. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the next image I created, which is this one right here, and click OK. I can make it a little bit bigger.
Now, are you being deliberate in not using plugins today?
I decided to challenge myself to see how far I could get without using plugins. And this one's going to test it because there's some, extensions. There's some geometry on here. And I think I've already been called out on the forum about I'd be interested. No, Dave private messaged me. Sorry, Dave. I'm airing our private conversations, but
Dirty laundry.
Dave did message me. He said, I'll be interested to see how you model this. And I'll show you which part we're talking about just as soon as we get there. But yeah, I did kind of informally challenge myself to try to do most of this just with native tools. This is actually something that this is something I did myself. Actually downloaded I think it was a CAD drafting course for machinists, and I downloaded something like 24 different pieces like this, and went through and drew them all in SketchUp with native tools just to kind of up my own game. That was just a personal thing that I did, and it was kind of fun to do because it was a very specific thing. There's no interpretation. It wasn't like a photo where something could be off. It was exact. It was perfect sizes, and I thought it'd be a fun thing to try and introduce to you guys. The other thing is, as you may have heard, people get on SketchUp saying it's not precise enough, it's not exact, it's not, and really it's as exact as you want it to be. So hopefully this is showing that, because we're creating things that are fairly small once we resize them all. Okay, moving on. Okay, so for this one, what I would probably do is very similar to what I did over here, which would be to create this shape first. And then I got a little piece that pulls out this way, and then I start to come across this way. That would be my inclination. That's how I would probably start it, is basically drawing the profile. Again, I'm trying to move the drawing with my mouse. Still doesn't work. Basically draw it as if I was looking at it from this arrow, if I was looking at it right from the side. So I'm going to do that.
Do you happen to have a link to that course you mentioned?
I don't. It was years and years ago that I hit that. I just found it. I think I literally Googled machine part drawings or illustrations or something like that, and I found a bunch that looked the same, and I followed them back to, it was some online course. I don't remember where that was, but really good, just basic drawings. They're actually even higher quality, much cleaner than these ones, and just, like I said, great way to learn how to use the tools inside of SketchUp. All right, I have this line right now. I'm going to come up and draw that bottom rectangle, which it looks like is, I'm going to actually draw the whole thing, so I'm going to go 24 right now. So that is from the bottom here up to this top shelf. I'll bring this piece out in a minute, because it's going to be easier to pull that off of the solid, this little nub to come out of the solid, rather than to break it up now and push one piece back, push another piece back, and delete extra geometry. This is going to make it just a little bit simpler. All right, next thing I got to figure out is, and this is, so this right here, this is the perfect example. This is why these were so enjoyable. I know this is like drafting nerd talk to say this is fun. But here's what's fun about it. Right here. So I have this this piece comes up and it has this circle on it, and there's no dimensions. It would be so easy for them to put a dimension right here to say how far back this was, but it's not there at all. Instead, all I have is a vertical dimension to this circle, and then how big this circle is. That's it. So I have to work my way backwards with that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come to this point right here. I'm just going to grab a spot. The middle is perfect. I'm going to draw a circle up, or a line straight up 42. And then I'm going to put a circle right here down 15. And then another circle down 30. And then what I can do is I can come across, drop a line vertical here. Whoops, I didn't mean to draw that extra line.
Wait, are you meaning to do it in the middle of the block like that?
Yeah, because I didn't want to do math. Because then I can take it and bring it right like that. You guys know, if I have a way to get away without adding or subtracting something, I'm going to show you how to do it. So yes, I could have taken this radius of 30 and said, okay, this middle point is 30 over, but it's still math, even if it's simple math. All right, I'm going to take that now, and I'm going to extend it the 12. So I'm just building this slice right here. So I'm going to push, pull, 12. Then I'm going to come to the middle of this point right here, pull this across like that. And I can pull this out 12. Spin around to this side. Well, we might have to put him on a different layer and hide him. He's messing with my my zoom in. All right, so now how wide is this? This is 52. And then I can grab this rectangle, again, bring it over here. I can pull this out 24, and this can come out 12. Erase here, erase here. Option erase, Alt erase, Control or Alt erase to get rid of those two pieces. All right, so I think that's everything. So to verify, I'm going to pull one dimension right across here. That should be 76. It is 76. Awesome. Bottom to bottom here should be 100. It is 100. So I think that's the easiest way to do that.
It's certainly one of the easiest ways.
It is a way. That's a true statement.
I keep looking at that error, and I think that's basically just the thing you're questioning on the previous model is just showing the center line.
Yeah, I think so too. So I got one right here. Yeah. I don't know. I've never actually taken any drafting classes, so I'm sure those are all very important things. I just don't happen to know what they are.
I think mine were about 30 years ago.
All right, so I have this brace kind of geometry here, so I'm just going to, on the edge, I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to bring it up to this segment right there. We don't have true tangent to arcs because of those segmentation. I'm sorry, I keep looking over where the camera was. I actually changed the studio a little bit to kind of make this more compact because I lost so much of my garage to filming. So I keep looking up to where the camera was back there, but you guys are actually down here now, so I apologize if I look like I'm looking off into space. I'm not trying to be deep or anything. All right, I can take this now, I'm gonna grab it by the middle, Option, and I will bring it right here to the center. Once I get to the center, I can just delete that line. And it says it's 12 wide, so I can just push, pull 6. Spin around over here, push, pull 6. And then
you could also double click that.
Sorry, what's that?
You could also double click that, or is there a reason
I could have double clicked that too?
No.
You're absolutely right. Okay. So, a couple things. One is I might have some weirdness here. I'm going to go ahead and peek inside and find out that, yep, I got solid geometry, or I have non-solid geometry. That did not break, so come around here from the inside and delete these pieces right here. There we go. That's better.
Mr. Richards chimed in to say those centerline arrows are for students to do section cuts.
Ah, well, hey, we know how to do that. That's easy.
Yeah.
Just use the section tool. Okay, so looks like I got something going on here too. There we go. So one of the things Dave called out here was this right here. See these little dotted lines right here? That's actually indicating that this is not a square 90 degrees. This cut is not a perfect 90-degree cut. There's actually a little bit of a, I don't know, with the beveled, okay, so, yeah, so that, whatever the opposite of a beveled edge, what's it called on the inside? But yeah, there's basically a quarter circle arc right here. So Dave was saying, not sure how that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact word. So
fillet.
Yeah,
we have a consensus. That's a fillet.
I agree. Fillet sounds good.
Because what you're doing is there's a little gap there, and you want to fill it in.
You nailed it. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Okay, so here's why that's not as simple as I would like it to be. If I was using extensions, I would grab these lines like this. I would go grab Fredo corner and let it do its thing. Not doing extensions, this becomes a little more work because there's 3 parts that are complicated here. This one right here is simple. I could actually right now just come in here, do an arc like that, push this back, maybe even follow 2 lines with that. I'll grab these 2. And this one. Well, here, let me illustrate the easy part first. I could grab those 2 lines, say follow me, and ooh, look how easy that was. Piece of cake. Bringing in a 3rd piece is not quite as automatic, but it can be done. I can bring the 2 geometries in, overlap them, and actually kind of collide the geometry, intersect the geometry, and delete the extras, which is probably what I do. Then this part gets, well, 2 parts here. Let's grab this right here. Bring it over here. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. And then I'm going to bring it right there. So if I pull that out, this part gets weird too, because I have to come in and chop this off somehow. Then this part, I can run up to here. I'm going to hit my modifier key Option to run that all the way through. And then I'll grab this piece right here, follow me with, oops, got to come in here.
I
and
like that.
It softened. It got softened. All right, I'm going to grab that, follow me, yoy. All right. First thing I'm going to do is actually pull it back a little bit.
Why are you pulling it back?
I'm pulling it back because I want it to start flat like this. Oh, look at that. It broke my geometry there. So I want to grab just those pieces and re-weld them. I'm going to have enough geometry here. I don't need to deal with that brokenness too. So that's going to start straight off. When it did that before, first thing it did was make it perpendicular to the line and then extend it so I had a gap. By bringing it back down a little bit, I'm starting perpendicular to the original plane, and that's going to make a smoother transition here. I say follow me. That, there we go. All right, so that is something. I'm going to close this up like that. Actually, do that. And just to have something to work with, I'm going to extend that a little bit long. Okay, so see, looks just like the drawing. All right, we're close. This is not it. We're not there, but we're getting there. Get rid of these extra surfaces right here first, and then Lucas is asking about our live schedule. Our plan right now, Lucas, is to do this Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays right around noon every day, I think. I don't have an exact...
Noon Colorado time.
Noon our time. Yes. Not every day. Tuesdays and Thursdays we're going to take off. Got some other things to do. But we're going to try to do this as often as possible for the duration of this. I'm still looking for a good word of what to... Oh, hey, look, my cup's kind of see-through-ish. All right, so I'm going to grab these 3 surfaces. Intersect face with selection. That's going to give me that. I still have, see these weird lines popping through? That's an indicator of geometry on the other side. So I'm going to spin around like this, and I can see this is what's causing that issue. Once I get rid of that, I can actually clean this up a little bit. That was the wrong, I deleted the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing I want to get rid of. All right, so then we have that. Okay, so over here, this is working for me. Right here, that's working for me. Here I got some issues. All right, so here I'm gonna basically do the same thing. I'm gonna pull a line across like this, and then I'm going to go tangent to my angled line by hovering over it like that, and then I'm going to grab these surfaces and this surface, right click, intersect face with selection, and then I can select and delete this, get rid of this. There we go. So far, so good. Those are the parts I had a pretty good idea how to do. Now we're going to go up top.
Oh.
This I literally, I'm not quite sure. I have a theory. I have an idea. I'm going to click here. This is the last spot that it intersects with. I'm going to pull a line straight across like this. And then I'm going to draw another line. I'm going to go perpendicular to this piece again. And then draw it back. So again, a similar surface to what we saw before, and I'll try intersecting that with all these pieces. And get that, get that.
Where that resulting profile is not what I expected.
It'll get cleaner when I do, whoops. Why? Oh, because that's an edge. All right. Hey. Yeah, it's a little bumpy here, but you know, this is for students. They don't get stuff right all the time.
Well, if you've seen my welding, that's pretty much what it would look like anyway.
On par. Awesome. Christopher, hey guys, I'm going to offer something. I'm going to say that if you're following along and you want somebody to check your work, head over to the forum and post your model, and I'm sure we have some helpful folks there who would be happy to take a look. If anybody's looking for a double check.
There's always people on the internet willing to tell you what you did wrong.
In a good way, in the interest of growth and education. All right, exactly. I don't want to do that thing twice. So I'm going to grab all of that. I'm going to Option Copy. I'm going to invert it using Scale. I know I could also flip along, but I didn't. Do I have a good spot to snap this into? I don't really. So I'm going to make it a group real quick. That way I can position it without worrying about the geometry joining. There we go. With that, I can explode. Do it to close up these ends. I probably should have not been so quick to delete those. If I had left them, they would already be there. And then the last thing I can do, if I triple click all of it, rather than coming in and manually hiding these lines, I should be able to use Soften and Smooth to, there we go. I wonder if I can, whoops.
Oh.
A little too much.
Oops.
Okay, so there we go.
Nice.
One line on the inside there. Nope, it came back. All right, let's try again. Bring it back to the lines I want to stay there. And I will have to manually clean up, clean up just these little sections right here. Not a big deal. I don't mind doing that. Awesome. All right, that turned out all right. That turned out not too bad. Something looks a little funky with it. Oh, I'm going to take that line all the way up. Oh no, that's that weird blending togetherness that I could come through here like this and trace back out just to keep the shadows from getting weird. I could probably have left it as it was too. It was not that big a deal, but I don't like when I get unexpected shadows on my drawing like that. All right. That'll work. Looks like, looks pretty close to good. All right, I'm gonna take it all one more time, make it a group. I'm gonna run Solid Inspector on it because, oh, I thought I had some spare geometry flopped around inside there. I guess not. All right, that's 2 out of 4. Move that over like that. I did have some geometry inside there. I'm gonna scoot these guys over further. That way they don't get in my way when I'm modeling. All right. Hey, we should probably save this. Has anybody said the S word on there?
Nobody has.
Oh,
Everybody's so enthralled.
you guys are
It's become more
slipping.
entertaining. You want to talk about the thing in your left hand for a minute? We've had a couple of people ask.
We could probably touch on that. Let me save this real quick. So this right here is my 3D mouse. This is the 3D Connection Space Mouse Enterprise. It allows models to move in 3D space without using the mouse. SketchUp, of course, is kind of known. One of the things, it's really easy to move in 3D space using just the mouse. This little scroll wheel on the top lets you zoom, or if you hold it down, move around in 3D space. Super easy to do. But the 3D mouse takes a little bit further. It does free up your mouse. You can go do whatever you want to as you're spinning around in 3D space. So I come up here, pick a tool I want, or pick a different tool, close stuff. I can do all that while I'm still moving in 3D space. The other thing is it ends up lending just smoother animation. So as I spin around, it looks nice. Us SketchUp users are used to doing things like this as we move through a model. This is normal SketchUp behavior, but for people who are watching, this just seems to feel a little bit better, a little smoother, a little better presentation. It's not a requirement. You don't have to have a 3D mouse to use SketchUp. I just tend to use it because I do a lot of presentations and I care about you guys. So I don't want anybody getting motion sickness because I'm orbiting and zooming in too quick or too fast. I want some nice smooth animation like this. So that is a 3D mouse. All right, moving along. Let's get the third drawing up here. I'm going to go back to my watermarks and swap out my watermark again. Double click on the one that I have already and click Browse and grab my third one. Okay. No. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so let's do this a little bit different. Rather than start with the end and push pull across the we did before, let's start with this rectangular panel and work up and down. So this whole thing is 80 by 120. So maybe I'll just start with a rectangle on the ground. That is 120, 80, and that's this panel right here. That piece is 15 deep. So that's this piece right here. From there, I could come underneath and put these tabs down. So let's do that. This is another nice option about the 3D mouse is up and down really stop mattering because everything is, you can spin it on.
I don't know, I'm getting motion sick.
Oh, sorry. Pretend it's the sea and not the sky above you. All right, I'm gonna come this way and 20, break it at 20, click here. And again, I don't have an exact dimension for this. It is that 50?
Yeah.
I think that's 50.
50.
And then I have a radius of, the radius is the same here is this 80. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab this piece and I'm gonna pull it up well past where I need it. So just
the
have
radius
that.
is half of 80.
That is true. The diameter, in case you were wondering, is a full 80. Circumference, I don't know.
I mean, just a sec, let me figure that out.
Stupid math words. All right, I'm going to come up 50 and draw my inner circle right here. My inner circle is 32 diameter, so that is 16 radius. And then I'm just going to do another one from the edge. I'm going to pull it straight across till it meets the side like that. And then, for whatever reason, it unmerged my circle here. I'm just going to delete the circle and redraw it.
If you're using guides, that wouldn't happen. Just saying.
Maybe. That is definitely possible. I have never claimed to have perfected the workflow. All right, I'm going to grab that, push it across like that, double click here to push that across. And then something I could do here is I could draw a couple lines like this. Then I could grab all of this and option copy it over like that. I got to delete these pieces. But in some cases, that's easier than grabbing a single face, bringing it to the outside, and then pulling it back in. I don't know. There's so many ways to skin any given cat inside SketchUp. Really, the best solution is the one that works for you. But that's the bottom piece. We got that done. So now the only thing we have left is this circle that's up on the top. So it looks like it's centered again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use inferencing to find center. No lines this time. Put Jody's theory to the test. So here's my center one side. I'm going to go grab my center on the other. Bring those across, and where they both meet, I get another snap point, inferencing point, and I'm just going to pull a line straight out to here. I'll go ahead right now and just pull that up 20. And I'll come in with a new circle. I'll go off the middle, and I will bring that up 30, because it looks like I got a circle with a diameter of 60. That then pushes down 15. And then one last circle in the center there with the radius of, you guys will notice too, I don't know if anybody else caught this, but as I'm drawing these circles, I'm always letting it snap to either the green or red axes. Again, I have 48 sides, so as long as one of those 2 points, as long as whatever corner I put in is on one of the axes, then I know if I have to ever go back and edit, I always have 12 segments between the red and green axes. So if I snap off at some weird angle like this, I don't know where my edges are. If I keep everything in line with either the red or the green axes, then I know where those pieces are. The other thing about that is all of my circles align. We've seen a lot of models come up on the forum where stuff doesn't align, right? So I put one circle on top of another circle, now I got these weird jaggy edges popping through each other because the circles didn't line up. If the circles lined up, everything would emerge, would have been perfect. And one way to do that is to always draw along the axes with the same number of lines. I knew that would get a response from Dave because I've seen him correct at least 3 people very recently on that issue. All right, so I'm going to go.
Well, and it's not
15.
not completely intuitive that that's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good call out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and that one I'm just going to pull to the bottom, and then I just have a little bit of cleanup. Wow, that one was too easy. That was like less than 10
went
minutes.
Way smoother than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Let's grab all of it, make it a group. Just double check for solid. Oh, everything is just so good. All right.
You have to 3D print these after you're done since they're all good solids.
Yeah, unfortunately, that would consist of me tracking down some plastic in my shop, melting it up, and squeezing it through a pen or something.
That sounds awesome. I want to see it.
That's my homemade 3D printer. Yeah, unfortunately, just don't have access to anything like that anymore. I used to have a 3D printer, and I found I wasn't using it because the place I worked had 3D printers available for their employees to use. And then I started working from home because of coronavirus, and now I can't 3D print anymore.
Oh yeah, it is time to
Thanks,
time
Lark.
to save. Thanks,
Oh.
Adam.
Thank you for getting me off of that coronavirus frustration.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Going back to that though, Kai suggested earlier when you were trying to figure out a name, he said Terry Pratchett used the term an embuggerance, which is what I think he's referring to the coronavirus incident or life that we live now.
Embuggerance.
So you just have to embuggerance, yeah.
Is that because we're all embuggered? Is that
Maybe.
okay? I can get behind that. That's cool. All right, one last model. Go ahead and grab that same watermark. Double click, browse, and grab the fourth one. All right. Okay, make that a little bigger. All right, so I have a very real issue that I need to bring up with you guys too. Something that came apparent to me last night is I'm about due for a haircut. This is about the max length that I can get to before hair products refuse to keep my mane in place. I have a lot of attitude in my hair. When I wake up in the morning, my hair basically sticks out every direction and just stays there. So this hairdo that I have is more of a compromise between me and my hair wanting to all be on end. Some of it I get to lay down, some of it gets to be free. So I'm getting to the point where I'm almost due for another haircut, and being locked up at home, that's probably not gonna happen. So I gotta figure out what to do with myself from about here up. Is it too late for beanie season? Do I just have to find a nice baseball cap? Do I just slick it back, let it run wild? Need your guys' thoughts on that.
I think you're not really you're forgetting that you can always go on Amazon and buy a Floby.
One could.
I mean, it's worked for so many.
I do have one vote for scissors on YouTube. All right, just something to think about, because it will become an issue sooner rather than later. All right, this one's actually, I like this one because this one is a lot, there's a lot more to this one than the previous ones we've done. So what I got here is I got a donut basically and a second donut, and I know the distance between the two. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start drawing a circle on the ground. This one is going to get a radius of 30 because the overall diameter is 60. And inside that, I'll just put this here right now. I have a 30, so I'll put 15 for radius. And now, going from this line up this way, is that 115? Looks like 115. Up here, I have a circle of, I'm just trying to make out those, it looks like 16, so I'm going to do 8 here, and then a radius of 15, which are those two right here. I think that's 18, and then a radius right here of 15. All right. Grab a line there, pull that to there. I'm just using the halfway point to see how that works. That doesn't quite work on this one, so I'm going to dial that one back to about here. That works. So just grabbing segments and connecting them together so they're close to tangent. And then what I can do is grab this piece right here, and then we're going to go on the green axis, option, and just flip it over 180 degrees. That's probably one of my favorite ways to copy geometry, is using that rotate command. So that gets us the base. And get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. And we put 15 on that. You think that's 18? Well, I went with 16, so we might be just slightly off. We'll see. We'll see when we get done there.
Yeah, it's definitely 18.
It's definitely 18. Definitely? We're going to go definitely now?
I leaned in close to my monitor and looked at it. You can't go wrong with that.
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll put it in the machine that it's built for, and if it doesn't fit, then we'll know we were off.
There you go.
All right. So moving on here. I deleted my extra lines, so I need a circle here that I can pull up to this full height of 50. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a circle, go to that middle point, and again, to get it to line up, I just have to stay on axes. Come over to the red axis right here, and then I can pull that up. See how everything joins together real nice right there? That's because, again, I just stayed on axes, and then it melded right together like it was supposed to. All right, so what is this? This is 50 minus 15, 35, of course.
Yay, math.
I want to verify that. Yeah, of course it's right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah, math's cool. All right, so now there's two more pieces. Right here we have one of those little reinforcement leg kind of things. And again, it has a little weld in here. So we'll come back and do that. So first I'll just get this little tab right here. All right, so to put this piece on, we are going to have to find the center here. One of the nice things about low poly circles, if you do a circle of like 12 or sometimes even 24, it's real easy to find the piece that is the exact vertical center or the on axis line. So what I want to do is I want to find the very middle here. I could come in here. It's hard when you're in perspective, especially, it's hard to tell exactly which one of those that would be. So what I would tend to do, if I want to find exactly what it is, I'll go find the center point and I'll draw a line out on the green axis. And then from there, I could just take that line straight down. That is the middle of this circular face. That's important for this geometry right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right here. This is 28 wide, so I'm going to come over 14. Then...
Good job on your math.
Thanks. Yeah, I divide stuff in half pretty good sometimes. And then I can see that is 50 over to the center of the circle from the center of this circle. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab that center point, pull a line along the red axes, drop that line straight down, and then come this way, 50. All right. And now, what do we got? We got, get out of my way, guys. Oh, I guess I really didn't do math. It does say 14 right there. Dang, I wasted all that brain power for nothing.
Or maybe you actually did just read that and you're just tricking me and thinking you mathed.
Oh, should have kept my mouth shut. All right, so this is going to be 30. So I can come up here, draw a line straight up 30. And then I can come across, I'm just going to come across to right here, which is this line right here is my 50 from the center there. So I will do that, and then I'll just put a circle right in the middle there to create that final geometry. And then I have 12, so a radius of 6, one more circle from here. All right, and there we go. I can take that
Sebastian had a
geometry
great
now.
idea.
All right, let's hear it.
Once you're done with this, take these 4 models into layout and recreate the original source image.
I love it. Let's do that. All right, so right here, again, what I would probably do if I wasn't trying to do just native tools is probably use solid tools here. I know solid tools aren't technically an extension, but they are kind of an extension, so I'm gonna stick with the purely out of the box stuff. I don't know. I probably get some arguments about that, but I'm gonna grab this geometry and just pull it into the main section here and here, and then just grab all that, right click, intersect face with selection, and there we go. Probably the easiest way to clean it up is gonna be on the bottom if I just delete these faces down here. That should get rid of most of the faces on the inside. The rest of it, Solid Inspector will catch when we run that. It does have a little weld line right here. So I'm gonna come right here, go just put a little arc across here. Pull that up, go right past the edge like we did before. And then come here, just create some geometry. Select, intersect face with selection. That gets broken and get rid of my extra geometry just like I did before. Oops. There we go. Now let's Alt erase this. Nice and smooth. Oh, somebody didn't copy it. Dang it. Let's see, can I grab that? If I go to show hidden, I think I can just grab it.
Seems like a good time to save.
Yeah, probably so. I think I could just grab these pieces. There we go. Option copy. I could have undid that. That was not very much work, but I like to give the undo a rest every once in a while. It gets tired. All right, so since I moved it straight across the axes like that, I don't really have to worry about grouping it because I can actually feel pretty confident that I want to merge directly as I bring it right back across the red axes. That should fall right in line. Let's see, if I do this, it should close. All right, and then I can just delete that. Hop under here. Draw a quick line to close. Delete those lines. Awesome. Cool. That's pretty easy. All right. One last piece we got. This support right here, and it looks like we got some, this piece is welded in again. All right, the end of this support is 15 from the center of the circle. So I'm gonna go grab my center point, draw a line back on the green axis, 15. And it's 12 wide, so I'll go this way 6. Come back this way 12. And I'm gonna run that back to the face and run that. Green axes, green axes. Oh, that last one didn't make it back. Okay. Get rid of this extra geometry real quick. Zoom in here a little tighter. I'm gonna hit the green axes to lock it and bring it back till it hits the face. There we go. Same thing here, green axes, left arrow, lock that. It's still not quite making it. So close. Same thing over here. No, you made it. That's way to go, left line. Come on, right line, catch up. There we go. All right, now I'm just gonna take that and I'm just gonna pull it straight up like that. And now we wanna go like this. Here down to here. Here down to here. I'm going to draw one more line here to here, and then get rid of this.
Nice. Well, good foresight to draw that extra line in there.
Yeah, I had a feeling. All right. If I wanted to, I mean, I could leave that, I guess, because I could keep that round section there at the top, but I'm feeling that a little more better. All right. So we have, once again, what stick our weld line in. I'm going to do this time, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to use a single weld line that goes here. Follow me is going to go up to here, and then I'll come back and cut the ends off. So I'm going to do that first by drawing a line like this, and then I'm going to take that line, I'm going to rotate it, rotate a copy straight up, and then draw an arc between the two. There we go. Now I'll take that, slide it out here, and then I'll just click these three lines. A quick follow me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. Now, that seems like it would be awesome, but it wasn't awesome. Because it was 90 degrees, it didn't actually meet right here. See that? It's pulled back. So I could play some games right now, like grabbing this surface and try, let's see how I could deform this back like this, and it's not gonna be a good thing. So what I'm gonna do is pretty much do the same thing I did last time. I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna extend it all the way through like that. I'll go ahead and grab this piece right here. Option copy. Actually, I'll bring it all the way out here. I'll lay that down flat. And then I'll bring that up here. Not because I'm actually going to use this exact geometry, but more just as a reference. So let's see. How would be, so this is where it's going to hit that. If this line going straight down is going to hit the end of that weld right there. So that's where I want that to be. So by using these two lines, I can draw a new arc from this point to this point. Drag it in a little bit like that. And I'll take that geometry and pull that now all the way through. So now I can select these two surfaces, right click, intersect with selection. That gives me my weld line there. I can come in here and get rid of my extra geometry. Nice clean weld there. Up here, same thing I did before. Well, almost. Well, let's do the simple one. This is the one we know. All right, this one we're just going to take across like this. Going to reference this line right here, put my ramp line down there, click, click, right click, intersect face with selection, and then I can just clean that right up. I'm not going to do it yet. I can bring it over later. That one's easy. This one is not as easy. And I really don't know what the solution is here. I'm going to make it up. Let's see what happens if we do the same thing we did before. So if I bring a line over like this, reference this to come down like that, that's going to trim off part of that geometry. Right, that's going to give me, which this might work just fine. So that's what that's going to, it'll end up looking like that, which I'm good with. I guess I could mess with that. I don't really see a reason to mess with that more than it is. All right, I'm going to grab those three pieces, this piece, and this piece. I'm going to option copy that over. Flip it inside out. And now, because I didn't erase these end pieces, I actually have a handle to grab it by and drop it right there. And now I can delete. Those three pieces. And because there's so few of them, I can just Alt erase these pieces, and these pieces. All right.
It looks real nice.
I think it looks nice.
Did you already do the fillet on the back edge there too?
This one right here?
Oh, yep, sorry.
Yeah, I did.
I looked away. Nice.
All right, woo! Finally gave Solid Inspector something to do. So I got a couple edges. Oh, look at this. So this is one of the nice things. Like I said, a 3D mouse is absolutely not required, but one of the things that's nice about it is it zooms constantly, regardless of what's in front of your camera. So with the scroll, you zoom in, and the closer you get to something, the zoom eventually slows down. So you're getting closer, it slows down until you, excuse me, break through the other side. With the 3D mouse, you move absolutely, so you just pop right inside. So it is kind of nice if you do a lot of 3D modeling for solids, because you can real easily get inside and move around. I have a couple extra lines here that I did not clean up that are causing this to not be solid. What else we got? Oh, there's another couple of them. Ooh, that doesn't look like it should be there. If I get rid of all that. Sweet. Yeah, I'll just let Solid Inspector fix that one. All right, so that is our 4 pieces done. So let's do this. Yes, Karsten over on YouTube is pointing out that section cuts are great for cleaning out solids. They are. You put them on, and then you do have to hide them. So you can't, because when you first put in a section cut, it actually is between you and the thing, so you can pick it. But you have to, if you hide it, you can actually see into the section cut and work inside of it. All right, so let's pop these into layout. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to actually, here's what I'm going to do. Let me talk to myself a little bit about what I'm going to do. I'm going to put each of these on their own layer, on their own tag. I'm going to tag each of these with their own tag. So I'm going to create part 1, part 2, part 3, and, you guys never guessed what I call this last one, part 4. And now each of these is going to go onto its own separate tag. And here's why I'm doing this. I'm going to take each of these tags and basically put them in exactly the same spot. And there we go. What I can do now, I'm going to go into my styles and get rid of my watermark. Kind of looks like a sci-fi toilet now.
There were some comments early on that it looked like toilet hinges.
So it's a super bidet, just to be topical. All right.
Nice. Way to go.
Thanks. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit my style. So I'm going to get rid of this background color I have. Turn off the sky, set my background color to white. There we go. I'm going to turn off my axes. I'm going to, actually, no, I think I'll just go to, no, I won't do that. No, I like this. I'm going to go to camera. I'm going to put parallel projection on. And I think this was the direction we looked at it from, right? Yeah, so if I go to camera with parallel projection turned on, go to my standard views, do an ISO from this corner, that should be giving me the exact same shape as what I'm seeing in the drawing. The ISO will put me at that 3/4 view from the corner you're looking closest to.
Looks like part number 4 is backwards though. I think.
So this one's, here, let's do this. Oh, all right, that one looks like the image. Yes. Yes. And it should have the little tab sticking out this way. Yep, that's right.
Nope, okay. Never mind.
All right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna come through here. And, you know, we changed, because layout has the ability to actually modify or change your tags in the view, there's a question of how much do I have to do as far as setting up for layout. I'm old school and I usually end up still creating all of my scenes separately, but I'm not gonna do that this time. I'm gonna create one scene, which is basically just to lock down my camera and my style. I'm gonna say create scene right now, and that's it. So I'm going to save that, and with that, I'm going to head to layout.
While that's happening, Sebastian mentioned the camera memory plugin. Said that would have been really handy there.
That is also good. All right, I'm going to pick letter landscape, and I'm going to use my pan to just kind of get that in the center of my drawing. You know, I should have turned on something with some divisions. Hold up. Grid. I'm going to copy and paste that. Take both of those, copy and paste them. All right, I think that'll work. All right, there are my 4 drawings. And now what I can do is I can come into this second one and I can actually toggle my tag to show this part, and this part. And then what I can do, I'll double click, right click, and use pan to just kind of push these around so they're centered in their viewports. Being careful not to orbit or zoom at all. That's going to keep everything the same scale. All right. Looking pretty good. I should probably save this too, right? I mean, that's a thing people do, right? They save their layout files.
I've seen people do it on the internet. I don't know about all that.
All right. First thing I want to do is, this actually looks pretty accurate. This is about the resolution of the actual image I put up there, but we can improve on that. I'll go ahead and make this a vector rendering. Some nice clean lines. That looks good. That looks better.
It's like we're in CSI and you just said enhance.
Enhance, enhance, enhance. You know, we're getting closer and closer to that technology. I mean, facial recognition, image reconstruction, it's getting there. But yeah, it's still not that. All right, with that, we'll come in here and throw some dimensions on. First, grab this one. Oh, you know what we didn't do?
No.
We did not rescale anything.
We're going to need a bigger 3D printer.
Oh, yeah. This is, I'm not real good with the whole imperial to metric and back and forth, but I'm pretty sure 160 meters is more than the Lulzbot Taz can fit on its build plate.
I think that's pretty good. I think you're close.
My only reference is 100 yards is the length of a football field, which I'm not like terribly into sports, but I do live near a school and I look out there and I can see the football field from my front yard. So that's how I compare that. So, oh, see now, Dave's telling me to cut corners and just turn the units off and type new dimensions in. Yeah. So the first thing I'll have to do is I will have to change my units, because my right now it's coming up as fractional feet. And I can come in here. This is what Dave's saying is, if I come in here and I put this dimension right here, what?
You need to change it for the model.
There we go. So tell it to put meters, and then if I do that, it should at least give me the right dimension, 80, yes.
You can drop your precision to get rid of all those decimal places.
That is also true. Everything's to a solid meter.
You got to select that and do it. It didn't apply the change to your existing.
Yeah. But isn't it in here up at the top? Oh, there we go. Thank you, sir. Could not find that little checkbox. All right, so now we're just gonna have pretty much what they had. Boom, look at that. Just a number, nothing fancy. What else we got here on this one?
Except you're not doing it along the same plane.
I'm not. That is correct. All right, I will definitely have to make some changes here because I do not like this look so much. No. Where is it? Do I have everything visible? Shape style, there we go. They actually have arrows, they're just really tiny. So maybe I can leave the arrows on. Let me just shrink them down a little bit. Okay, so maybe something like that. That looks better. I could get behind that. That'll work. All right. Fine tuning, which I did that with the selection. So that only changed the pieces I had selected because that's how I did it. Let's go back here. What else? This dimension right here. I'll just pull that vertically. I like that look better. What other dimensions did they give us? This dimension. Drop it out here. Let's see. Put it there. but then I'm going to come in and I'm going to move that back up there. And maybe a couple dimensions. What else do we have? Oh, then we had from the center of this circle back to here, which I'd also probably have to go in here and grab that, slide it over. I think that was most of the dimensions. Oh, I had one more dimension. Yeah, you know, they did actually a pretty good job of keeping this organized, because this is messy for sure. Oh no, it's back to the.
What you're doing
back.
This is very good at showing us what not to do.
Well, I'm trying to emulate the same dimensions they have.
You're missing it completely. I'm looking at the picture.
I'm putting the dimensions. I haven't cleaned anything up yet. Give me time. Give me time. I'm just making sure the dimensions they have called out are here. Whee.
So it looks like it's showing up as 22 on one of those there, like to the center of that circle, which is not where we want it. It's supposed to be 20.
20. Oh, okay. I did that wrong. All right, I'm going to go vertical on this dimension because I want it out of the way. Oh man, there's so many tiny dimensions. Oh, they get tinier and tinier too. Here we got a 20. All right.
I'm getting dizzy watching this.
Oh man, they're so little. They're so. You know what I probably need to do is take all, whoops, nope, undo. Great, broke it. All right. All right, you go over there. Oops, I deleted my. Bring that out more. At this point, I should probably make my dimensions even smaller. All right, let's try that one more time.
There you go. That's better.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, let's do one. So realistically, probably, I don't know. Actually, I don't know how small this ends up being, but it probably makes sense to come in here and, let's see, actually change my fonts a little smaller maybe. Pretty small already. It's crowded in there.
And shouldn't you be using papyrus for this?
Oh man, I don't even want to start. I think that's all the dimensions that they actually gave though. Oh no, wait, there's one more. There was a dimension from the center point of this circle down to here.
You're trying to get that 45?
No, it was. Trying to think of how to pull this dimension. Because we had a vertical dimension from here
to the center, right?
To the center. Oh, there we go. Well, that's not the right number.
that's interesting.
I can fix that though.
That feels like cheating.
Yeah. It is. I'm okay with that. There we go. Oh man, that's a tight spot to put some dimensions into. That's what I've learned. But yes, so you could come up with a very similar set of dimensions to what was on the original drawing. My extensions are too big for this small of a drawing too. They're too far away, so I'd have to go select them all, and then I think I can, here we go. Like one. That helps a little bit. Getting there, getting better. Whew. That's still rough stuff.
Man, it's virtually identical now.
Oh boy. But yeah, so we could come up with something comparable. Not the exact same dimensions, but something similar. Similar for sure. Yeah, but that part's not awesome.
So here's the invitation. Here's the invitation for everybody playing along at home is do this better than Aaron.
You guys shouldn't have a problem.
And post it on the forum.
Do it. Show me up. Show me a better layout drawing with the dimensions you need. And just to keep it fair, don't put all the dimensions on. Put most of them on like the original drawings did. I can think of better ways to dimension this, but I think that was part of the activity, was not having everything you need. So Robert Coolidge is asking about putting dimensions in SketchUp. They do come across, but they come across as, well, the same kind of dimensions. You can't, they're basically images. So not
better
good.
Control when you're in layout.
Yeah, these would be much better because these are actually vector images too. So there would be nice, clean, look at those nice clean lines. Well, I'm going to go back here because I like this better. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Well, I think we've done what we set out to do. Draw some things together. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope that was helpful. I hope everybody learned a little something, maybe. Like I said, we're going to try to do it like this, kind of a model along step by step, more than, a full model like we do on Fridays, on Wednesdays for the time being. And then we'll stick with our Q&A sessions on Monday. So they'll be around noon every day. I don't have exact, this isn't really in my schedule.
Every time we do this.
Yes, each time we do this, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it'll be there. If you don't already subscribe to the forum, we will be putting posts, notifications about each of these as they come up on the forum. We'll also, if you watch our Instagram in stories, we'll actually post every time that we're going to do one of these on the day of, the morning of. So a few hours, 3-4 hours beforehand, we'll put a story up on Instagram too. But yeah, this was fun. This was cool. And like I said, I just recommend you guys go do this. Go hop on Google and type machine part illustration or plans or something like that. Get some of these little images of these widgets and just go model them in SketchUp. It is an awesome way to get real good at modeling precision. And it's, like I said, if you're a SketchUp nerd and you're here, so I'm assuming that kind of speaks to you, then it's actually kind of a fun way to spend an hour a day, something like that. I generally recommend anyhow, even if you use SketchUp every day in your day-to-day work, have something fun that you can model on a regular basis. So lunch hour, spend 30 minutes in SketchUp drawing a thing that you want to draw, or in the evenings, sit back, relax when you get home, and just open up SketchUp on your notebook for 30 to 40 minutes and do something you like to do. A lot of times when we use a program like SketchUp for work, we're very consumed with getting the work done that we have to get done in the time we have to do it. And what ends up happening is you don't end up working outside of the tools you already know how to use, which makes sense. Those are safe. So to kind of push yourself and learn new things, I just recommend taking a little bit of time each day to do that, because it's amazing just doing lunch hour models how good you'll get in all the new things you'll add. As long as you're intentional about it. Don't model the same stuff you do for work at lunch. That's counterproductive. So, yeah, model, that's right. Alejandro says so too. Best way to improve is modeling every day. Yeah. So Cowboy USA is saying next time we should do more machine parts. Maybe we'll do that.
Or we could try doing something that's like a CNC kind of flat cut thing.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll model like a sawhorse or something like that and model the pieces. That would be fun. That'd be cool. JD Mack's been redrawing the Fender Strat for the past few days. That's awesome. That was a lot more demanding of a model than I initially thought when we started into that one.
No Cobra Mustang, but.
And Karsten said too, Jody, you might have maybe an insight on how to chase this down. We're still having issues with this whole when is noon mountain time everywhere else in the world. So Karsten was asking if there was a possibility of a countdown widget in Discourse. So I don't know if that's something we could take a look into, because that would be nice.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Yeah, no promises. I just figured, we can always look. Never hurts to look, right? Well, I guess it depends on where you
find it and we don't want to do it, we can just say we couldn't find it.
That's true. Yeah, we don't have to be honest about findings at all. Okay, well, like I said, that's our attempt to throw some learning out there for today. Thank you guys all for hanging out with us. Thank you, Jody, for helping with moderate and comments. That was super helpful too.
Thanks for having me.
There we go. I was waiting for that. I've noticed this, Jody. So when we're in the real studio back in the office, the person helping usually sits on this side of the monitor. So I found when Jody talks, I still glance over in that direction, even though there's nobody there. I'm looking at empty space right now. But when you talk,
I'm not sure how you're set up in the garage, but it's possible you are actually looking towards me, like as the crow flies.
I think you're more that way, but
okay,
that's possible.
I'll take
your
word for it.
I'll just have to move everything about 30 degrees. I think I'll be looking in the right direction. Anyhow, yes, thank you very much. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and hopefully, like I said, everybody's staying healthy, staying inside, staying away from the germs. And I appreciate you spending your time with us, and hopefully this was worthwhile for you. Hopefully you guys learned something, and we will see you next time. We'll be back here Friday at noon, Mountain Time, UTC -6, I think. We'll be here same time we started today on Friday, and we'll be working on Bag End, the Hobbit home from Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. So hopefully we'll see you guys then.
46 hours from now.
46 hours from right now-ish. 46 hours and 13 minutes. Is that right?
Maybe. Yeah. No.
That's close to
46
math.
hours. Yeah. No, you're going the wrong way.
Okay.
45 hours. And no, I don't know.
A couple days from now.
We should probably end this now.
Hour and 47 minus hour and 47 less than 2 days from now. You do the math. On that note, thank you guys very much. We will see you next time.
Take care.